Hello, Monday afternoon again. Heston Cherry. The show is Addiction Recovery Hope, all capital letters on the hope, because we want to bring hope to people and resources. We bring a lot of people on they have a lot of resources. And today my guest is Jordan Hafen. Hi, Jord.
Hello.
And we'll get to him in a second. I forgot to introduce the radio station, Radio St. George 100.3, Sean Donovan and Dixie State. So Jordan, we'll just crack the ice and give over the mic to you. Tell us about yourself.
Wow, I'm actually kind of surprised how nervous I am today. I'm usually pretty good, but
You can't see it.
this is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you came. I'm glad I appreciate you coming on and being willing to.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. This is way cool. They say you can only keep what you have by giving it away.
Right.
So that's what we try to do. Is anytime you have the opportunity to be of service, you say yes,
Yeah.
no matter how nervous you are.
Yeah. I wish they paid me $1 million to do this show, but I do it just for that reason, is to give back.
Dream job.
Right.
That would be awesome.
So where you been?
I've been in St. George, born and raised here. So, yeah, I used to not really like it here in St. George growing up. It was always like, oh, it's so boring here. There's nothing to do. And now that I'm older, I'm like, wow, what a beautiful place we live in. There's so much to do.
Right.
So, yeah, things have been going really good. And what do we got?
We were going to talk about. I think you were going to tell us a little bit about your journey, how you got addicted, and kind of about your story. Not whatever you'd like to share with the viewers, and then the topic was building a foundation of recovery.
Yes. So just to kind of sum up that kind of stuff as quickly as I can. You've
got 20 minutes. It's all your show, so take your time.
Okay. Sometimes when I talk about like my addiction, I get wrapped up in it, and then like the last minute, you try to say some hope and talk about your recovery. So I don't like to get wrapped up in that too much. But yeah, born and raised here. Was a pretty good kid. Started dabbling around with drugs and alcohol and marijuana when I was in high school. So yeah, it went hard from there. I come with a family that has a lot of addicted people in it.
Yeah, that's a good point, because it is a genetic thing.
Yeah.
Tell you what, and you know what? I even barreled it down more. I was talking to a gentleman the other day after pickleball, and he was saying, about the seasons of life and the seasons of people, and we talked about, I was thinking when I was young, I grew up in Riverdale, Utah, and within about a half-mile square, anyone that was 2 years younger than me and 2 years older than me, I bet you 80% of us are addicts.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You're a product of your environment.
That is, yeah. And, it progressed really fast for me when in high school. I ended up dropping out of Snow Canyon, and I went to an awesome school, Mill Creek High School. Love that school. The teachers just loved me so much, me and, all the kids that were there, and they really they're amazing people. I actually missed my graduation by half a credit, and my teacher, who is no longer with us, she's, God rest her soul, she's a blessing. She was in there doing packets, the night before, like at night, trying to get me to graduate. But I ended up missing. I fell short. I didn't graduate with my graduating class, but I ended up doing the super senior thing.
Yeah.
They call it your diploma.
That's right.
But I got it. I got the diploma. When I was that age, I was already addicted and using. I can't even believe I even graduated, got my diploma. It was from those teachers and their love and support. And yeah, we had a house here in St. George that my grandparents owned. And when I say we, I talk about me and my family. And we kind of got to live and be free to do what we wanted, and we didn't pay any rent or anything. So we had a place to go to use and stuff, and it was just all bad from 16 to 24 years old. I felt like I earned my spot in those 8 years. Yeah. Definitely.
It doesn't matter how long, because I was 14 to 39, but you're
Yeah.
lost, you're lost. You earned your stripes.
Super grateful for my brother who showed me Narcotics Anonymous. He had found his way there, and he actually showed me about it, and just kind of learned, by watching him how to do it, and the program, and they saved my life. It's still saving my life. I ain't got nothing figured out.
Yeah.
I've got, and not to brag, I always like to say my clean date. My clean date's April 2nd of 2014. So I've got a little over 5 years, which is just absolutely crazy even to say that. It's almost like I'm having an outer body experience as I'm saying it.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah, blows me away. And I'm just so grateful that I was actually given an opportunity to get clean while I was young. Because some people don't know about this kind of stuff until they're a little later in their years. And I'm just really grateful that I was able to get here soon. So, I have an opportunity to stay clean. Yeah.
Absolutely. One day at a time.
That's right. That's right.
So, that's crazy.
Sometimes I like to get ahead of myself. I know they say just for today, and sometimes it's, just for that minute or just for 30 minutes. But I feel really good. Like the desire to use has been lifted. I don't think about it. It's just not an option. It's really not an option. I'm not going to say it doesn't sound good sometimes, because it does. But my brain and the way the tools that NA has taught me, it's just really quick thought, and it's gone. You know, and if it lingers, I know what to do. I need to call my sponsor. I need to say, hey, I'm thinking probably a little too long about using today.
Yeah.
And as soon as you talk about it, it kind of gets rid of the power that has on you. So
that's what a sponsor's for.
That's right. That's right. And obviously working the 12 steps, that stuff changed my life. And I remember coming into NA, I had a bunch of relapses. I tried to drink, and kept relapsing.
I can control this one. I'll do this drug to get off this one, and then once I'm off that one, then I can quit this one easy because it's not my DLC.
Substituting one for another, absolutely. It never ends. So, I remember trying to do it, and I couldn't get it, and I'd always try to drink. And then eventually, the last time I got drunk, I ended up going and getting high that night. Or I should have said that morning. I stayed up all night, and that was April 1st, 2014. So, I remember I just couldn't get it. And then I was like, one day it just clicked. I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I'm not going to do it 90% or 95% or 50%. I'm going to do exactly what they say to do, and 100%, and not leave anything out. And, what they say is you be of service, get a home group, be of service. You go to meetings, you call your sponsor, you get a sponsor, call your sponsor, and you work the steps. If you do those 4 things, it's very simple. Your likelihood of staying clean is going to be very good.
Right. I love that you pointed out that you jumped on someone's coattails, because when we're in our addiction or just fresh into recovery, our way of thinking isn't right. And so if we can just believe in someone that's making it over a year, I always say a year clean, sometimes they got 20, and you do what they say, or you get a sponsor, and then you call that sponsor and say, this is the situation, what do you think I should do, or how do you think I should answer this? And they direct you, and if you follow it, you'll start to think in the right way of mind.
Yeah. And that's funny that you mentioned that, is self-will, and I'm somebody who for some reason thinks I'm that smart and thinks I can, control situations and whatnot. But our best thinking got us, at our rock bottom, right?
Yeah,
but somehow when we get into recovery, we think we're smarter than everybody else.
Right.
And like our predecessors who've stayed clean for 10s, 20s, 30s of years. And it's just crazy how the mind and the disease works sometimes. Right. It's powerful. Sure. But I've done, my 5 years, I eventually worked the steps really hard. I did them fast, like not fast where it was too fast. Like I wanted to get it done, and I couldn't wait. And when I did step work with my sponsor, I felt really centered, and that's all I want to be. Is I just want to be centered, balance, good, not tripping about the future. Just be present and let my higher power, just kind of guide me with His will, and not me try to take my will. Because if I take my will, man, it's just a disaster. Life is uncontrollable. It's unmanageable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so the 12 steps have just absolutely saved my life. I can't wait to work them again. I finished them. I can't remember, like a year ago, and I still talk to my sponsor. It was funny because yesterday, and I know gambling is kind of a gray area for some people. I don't feel like I gamble like once a year, twice a year, Super Bowl, and
it's not your itch.
But 5 years clean. I called my sponsor last night, and I had a really good feeling about Golden State winning last night.
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm gonna go down and throw couple $100 on the game. And right before I went to Mesquite, I went alone. I called my sponsor, said, "Hey, I'm going to Mesquite. I'm by myself. I feel good. I just want to let you know I'm thinking about watching the game down there, and I'm just kind of holding myself accountable. I'm calling you, let you know. Even at 5 years clean, I still do stuff like that.
I love that.
Because
I don't.
5 minutes in, somebody handed me a free drink coupon. Hey, man, you want this?
Right.
And, I took it, and I handed it to the guy right next to me.
Attaboy.
Who loved to have it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They love that. I think all the drinks down there, if you're on the tables or something, are free. But
they're free.
But not in the sports bar thingy.
Yeah.
But that's another, you point out a good thing, because for some people, that's not the right place for them, because, what do they say, people, places, and things.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be very careful. I know you built up that protection and that armor over 5 years, but, I love that you point out you're working a strong program. You reach out to your sponsor. I got to step off and humbly explain where I'm at in my life. I'm struggling. I have all the right things to say. I've learned everything, but Heston isn't going to meetings. Heston isn't calling sponsors. Heston isn't doing enough service. Heston isn't as spiritual as he once was. Brings on anxiety, brings on a little bit of depression, and so forth. I'm at that point like you. Using isn't an option, but I was told by some friends yesterday, practice what you preach. You say that this is the right way to do it, but are you doing it? And I love that, and it hit home, and I need to get back to some basics. So I appreciate you saying, 5 years into it, you're still being taking advice from others, being teachable.
Yeah, no, that's cool, and that's why I love Addicts in Recovery, is we can call each other out and call ourselves out and hold ourselves accountable for things. That's awesome, and to be honest with you, I did that yesterday, but I haven't worked a step in a while. I hit one meeting a week, my home group. And
that's more than me right now.
Sometimes I'm late to my home group. I held a service position in multiple home groups for over 3 years, and now I'm kind of just stagnant. I still feel really good. The desire's not there. I know where to go if I'm start feeling a little sketchy. But yeah, just to hold myself accountable. I used to be around a lot more, and we had our NA convention over the weekend.
Yeah, I need to come to that. Every year I say I'm going to come to that Swakna.
Yes.
Dude, I say I'm going to come, and I have people invite me. They say, come sit with me and my wife or me, and I never show up.
And I wanted to say something that one of the gentlemen shared at that, and there was a bunch of amazing stuff that was said there, and I actually got to be more involved with it this year than I was last year. I spoke at it last year, which was super cool and humbling. That blows me with another out-of-body experience. Can't believe I even say that.
Yeah. Did you have to do one of those things like they say to picture everyone naked or something? I'd have been nervous.
Oh, it was pretty nerve-wracking, but quick story before I finish what I was going to say is,
yeah, go ahead.
When I first got clean, I had to do 75 weekends in jail consecutively to pay for what I was doing.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a year and a half of weekends. And so when I first got clean, it wasn't easy, and I didn't see the hope.
Yeah.
But I kept coming back. That's what they say. Keep coming back. Miracles start to happen. Boom. Kids, whatever your miracles are. I know what mine are. Kids are definitely one of them. But anyway, before I get too...
That's got to be a record, because me and my wife look at the bookings all the time. And so you were in there 75 times. Everyone's like, oh, Jordan's in again, every weekend.
I did 38 of them. I did 38 weekends in a row, and then I finally got a review hearing with the judge, and I was like, please let me have my life back.
Yeah.
I'm staying clean. I'm going to meetings. I'm working. I'm paying my fines, man. Like, I need my life back. My weekends is all I had to do anything for myself.
And the judge said?
He said, done. He's like, how much more are you going to pay on your fine? I was like, triple it. He's like, done. See ya.
Because you were doing the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he could tell you were being honest.
That was the first miracle.
Yeah.
Because I never thought I was going to get through that. And just going from being out and then going to that lifestyle in there, it kind of sucks. But this gentleman that was sharing said something that was really hit home. He said that they were talking about, those California commercials, the Malibu guys that have the cure for addiction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, you know what, man? Even if they found a cure, I don't want the cure because I want to be here with you when you're struggling every single time when I'm struggling, when your wife leaves you or you got in a bad car accident or, somebody died that you loved.
Yeah, because problems don't stop once you get clean. They actually just magnify.
Yeah.
Because we don't know how to deal with them.
Life's on life's terms.
And what'd he say?
He said, that's what he said. He's like, I want to be with you in those moments and we can, mourn together, cry together, love each other, hug. And I just thought that was so powerful, just the way he said it, because you could tell he was genuine about it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, screw the easy way out. Even if there was one, let's do this stuff together, And
that's one thing I found in my recovery is the things that I had to work for and the goals that I set and reached, the harder they were, the more good I felt about them.
Yeah.
Just amazing. I can do this. I can do it because I just did this accomplishment. Now let's go do another accomplishment.
Yeah. And I went up. I had to go give him a hug, dude. I was like, man, that was awesome. Thank you for sharing. I had the chills for like 3 minutes. I'm like almost
awesome.
everything he said.
Give me the chills on my bald head right now. That's legit.
Yeah, but it was awesome. I got his number. He lives just a couple of states away, and I was thinking about giving him a call, chatting it up with him one time, and he would totally answer the phone.
Right. That's what's awesome about the recovery community too, because the ones that are clean, they know how hard it is. They're willing to help because they know that helps them stay sober, and they just got good hearts. And there's no. I don't even think religious organizations do as much services as those the people in addiction recovery in those communities, because they do a lot. But there's some good religion out there. But
yeah, it's just a miracle, and just to see that many people getting together, it's just powerful, and it's grown over the years. And we live in such a good time where we have something like this, NAAA, whatever you go to be able to figure out, what's wrong with.
Well, you're part of people.
Yeah.
And bringing strength in numbers. I always say, you go to your meetings, you got your people there. You go to these things, and there's thousands of people that are in the same situations or feel the same about life as you. How empowering is that to keep out and going to do good and knowing that they're behind you. And from what I understand, it's not in those things. It doesn't matter if you're 1 day clean or 30 years clean. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And how much time do we got?
You got 6 minutes.
6 minutes. Okay. Foundation and building that foundation. And that's so important. And I feel like that's why I've been able to stay clean thus far. And, I feel pretty good about the future is we already touched base on it before, those 4 things you need to do. It's a simple program. A lot of this fellowships are based on the same things. So, if you go to meetings and stay clean, excuse me, if you go to meetings, you get a sponsor, you be of service, you work the steps, and you go all in, you go both feet in, it definitely can be done. The worst people or the worst drug addicts in the world can stay clean, sober, if they do those things with these programs. And I mean, even some of the churches got the 12 steps. I mean, whatever works for you.
That's what helped me, yeah.
That's whatever
and whatever one works for you. That's what I say. I don't care if you go to one. I worked for me. Go to them and find which one works for you.
My recommendation is to whatever one you pick, don't go halfway in. Go both feet in. You reach that bottom and that gift of desperation. Don't try to outsmart it. It's really simple, very, very, very simple thing to do is, those 4 things or whatever the program that you go to wants you to do. Don't leave one out, Listen to people who have done it before you. And, like you and I, we've been around for a while, and, we know when we're lacking. We know what we need to do, especially if our butt starts falling off,
Yeah.
I'm actually really impressed.
And
I
a
haven't
dog's not
swore
attached.
one time.
I'm proud of you for not swearing tonight.
Really pumped about that.
Yeah, you're doing great.
But reach out. Find you some people that you hang out with, and you're not hanging around your old friends. Having reservations and having the old phone that you used to use drugs with. Get rid of that.
Keeping someone's number that you used to go to get your stuff.
Yeah,
It's got to go.
Setting boundaries with people that you love is really important too. That's a tough one, especially being in family, friends. I grew up here. I did all my running and gunning here, and I had some people that moved away to get clean, which is awesome too.
That's what I did.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. But I don't associate with people who are using, and you got to love them from a distance. You got to protect yourself. We got family, got kids. That's very important to me, and I know all it takes is one drink, one time. It's game over. I know that without a doubt. So I protect it very, 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 just to the best of my ability.
Yeah, it goes along with me. I always say you're one bad decision, one stop at the gas station away from right back to where you were.
You never know when the 30 seconds of your disease is going to take over, and you're going to have a bad 30 seconds. And if it's close by, you never know,
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
How much time we got?
Yeah, you got 2:44 left, but what was I going to ask you? I forgot. Tell me a little bit about this, Jordan. I want you to introduce yourself as a successful businessman. Now, you're not just you're do what I do. You do you're selling real estate, and you're out. You've got an education for that. It's not easy stuff to do, and it's most people are older than us, you know, doing this, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I didn't think that I always wanted to do it, and I thought my criminal history would stop me. And then at one point, I finally just decided to go for it. And I didn't think they were going to do it. And I heard that they were going to, there was a possibility of them putting me on probational period. They didn't even bat an eye at me. I sent them like 7 letters of recommendation, and I'm just super happy. It's just, that's another miracle, being a real estate agent. It's so cool. And
because you have to have a good background, or like you said, probation, or you've got to have it cleaned up. And you did that.
Yeah. Did you see that bed on Facebook that I slept on before I got clean?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Man, I did not sleep on a bed like that, but I slept on a lot of places where there was no bed.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So
actually, that's better than no bed.
Yeah.
Even
exactly.
With the cockroaches.
Yeah. But this bed that he was on, that he shared a picture of, that he spent a night on in his addiction is Las Vegas or
Needles, California.
Behind a hotel, behind a block wall. And the mattress must have been sitting there for 2 years. It was eaten out. It was all springs. And Jordan was at his lowest of lows, it looked like.
I remember. What do we got? Minute 30?
Minute.
Yeah. I remember.
Finish with some hope.
I remember when I woke up on that morning. I was sick. I was hungover. I was drinking with some people at the hotel. The sun was beating down on me. It was middle of summer. There was a dog that was barking. It was on a chain, not very far from me. I just remember, this sucks, man.
Yeah.
And I just want to let everybody know who's listening. I'm not better or less than any of you. I'm just a regular guy trying to stay clean another day. If you're struggling, reach out to me. My name's Jordan Hafen. I got Facebook. I'd love to talk with you. Let's stay clean.
Man, what a great story. What a great man, and a great service you've been to not only the listeners and viewers, but myself. And I appreciate you coming on, Jordan. Appreciate it. And thank you all for listening. Radio St. George, 100.3 FM, Dixie State and Sean Denneman. See you next Monday.